The dogs run fast.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome into my dog's favorite podcast, brought to you by the Fantasy Football Universe. That is a double FU for you. I am your host for this evening, Michael Anthony. Alongside me, is not always, because Rich is on vacation again. We call him Mr. Vacation around here because he's always out and about. We got my good friend, one of the smartest people I know, somebody I probably conversate more to than my own wife. Don't tell her that. Is my good friend Chev. How you doing, Chev?
Hey brother, I'm glad to be back. This is gonna be fun. I'm back in the doghouse again, and I'm looking forward to breaking this down with you tonight, bro.
Yeah, we got a lot to talk about. Obviously, I got the Tennessee Titans shirt on, Cam Ward on the back here. Pause. I didn't really know how to get that. I didn't know how to say that. I was like, "Fuck!" I don't know how to. I don't know how to specify that. We're off to a good start. Anyway, tonight we're going to be talking about the AFC South. That's why we brought Chev on. He's the man that knows everything about that division because big Titans guy, Chev. And then we're going to be talking about several news and notes things that has been going on around the NFL recently because the past 2 days have been just fucking cranking out information recently. Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. So we were thinking that we had some clarity on the way, and then things just got way more complicated. So hopefully this is not a sign of things to come as we get into the fantasy season. Like it's not going to be very fun if it's just boom, hey, I'm just going to throw a cloud of uncertainty over your wide receiver one, or just I'm not feeling the last couple of days the way it's playing out, especially because it's one of my favorite players that it's happening to. So
yeah, let's get right into that. And that's going to be our That Bites segment, which is our news and notes segment. Let's get right into that. First thing you were bringing up here is going to be Rashee Rice. No possible suspension until September 30th, which is week 4, if I'm not mistaken, right? And then I don't know if you saw the Tom Pelissero interview on NFL Network I sent in the chat. They were talking about a 10-game suspension for him. How are you feeling right now? Because I know you're a big Rashee Rice guy, right? And I like Rashee Rice, and I know people were going out and buying, but like if you're a contender in Dynasty, this has to be pretty terrifying.
Deep breaths, guys. Deep breaths. So obviously the NFL wanted for a lot more games than what the NFLPA was willing to what first thought the type of timing that they were going to be on. So they were asking for double digit games apparently, which there's no precedent for. But if you think about it, like Henry Ruggs set the precedent of, so major traffic infraction, reckless,
people died in that one too.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something you can play around with. I thought just maybe he was just going real fast and crashed, but apparently it was a lot more serious than that. So I'm thinking it lands somewhere around 6 games, and that is if they're able to get this adjudicated. I don't know. It from a redraft perspective, it changes things, but from a dynasty perspective, it doesn't change much for me. I mean, you're still gonna get 4 games, and then you get a suspension, and then he comes back, and he's gonna assume probably his target share, or not. If not, he's still gonna be really efficient because that's what he's always done. So it doesn't change the outlook for me. It's just you could get a discount in Dynasty right now. And that's the way that I would like to look at that.
Yeah, I definitely think that there's a discount. I think for guys like you, there's probably no discount whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
The big Rashee Rice guys. But what do you think? A late first, like that 1.8, 1.9 probably gets that done right now?
I would hope so. I mean, if you're going up to the 1.4, 1.5 range, like, do you, I mean, in a startup, do you go Travion Henderson or do you go Rashee Rice?
Well, I think right now that Travion hype is a little fucking out of control. I don't know.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you could get Rashee Rice for Travion right now, listen, I'm one of the biggest Travion fans, right? But
Mhm.
if you could get a 24-year-old wide receiver, right? If I'm not mistaken, 24,
25.
25-year-old wide receiver who's been a wide receiver one before and high-powered offense that we know is high-powered. We're hoping the Patriots get to that point. I'm probably doing that all day long.
Right. So, yeah, I mean, that's where Travion's hype has gotten him. That's where this uncertainty has landed Rashee Rice. So I think that once we see him on a field being really good again, we're just going to be reminded that he's going to get taken away, and you just gotta. And at that point, if there's any sort of uncertainty, it creates a massive buying opportunity for those 6 weeks that he's out. Because people are only going to remember, oh, he's hurt. Oh, he got hurt before, and now he's suspended. I can't use him. Panic sell. This is how we create generational wealth, Mikey.
For sure. Do you think it even makes it worse if Xavier Worthy takes the next step, if Jalen Royals starts to show something? Because I think we've talked about it. They drafted a guy who plays a very similar role to a Rashee Rice, right?
Yes.
And he's been looking good in camp,
Yes.
Jalen Royals. And then you got Travis Kelce there for sure, who I think is still, going to be a top 10, top 8 tight end in fantasy aspect.
Yes.
And then Hollywood Brown is like the biggest question mark of all, right? Because we haven't seen him in this offense yet. Do you think his price even drops even a tiny bit more if those guys still ball out without him?
Yes. And I would continue to buy as the price got cheaper. And then, you just hold and then hope that he just returns to those, like he returns to the role that he had before. So I don't mind those guys going off, because it just, a rising tide lifts all boats. It just creates more opportunities for him to operate in the spaces that he operates in, because him and Hollywood won't be in the same place.
Sure.
He had kind of supplanted Kelce as the short area target, but Travis Kelce could still do his thing on one side of the formation. Jalen Royals or Rashee Rice can be on the other side of the formation, just cooking linebackers and stuff like that. I think he had like a 99th percentile success rate versus zone in 2024 in those 3 games. Like, it's reception perception. So I think that I believe in the talent more than anything. I believe in the role that he's had more than anything. And I think that there's just room for him to just be stable and be, a low-end wide receiver one on a yearly basis, like these last 2 years of his rookie contract. And you can get him for as cheap as it's going to be, as long as he's playing games.
For sure.
Does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. I was still confused about the Jalen Royals pick for them. I was hoping he would go anywhere other than there, right?
Yeah.
And I really think Xavier Worthy, obviously Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy play 2 opposite ends of the spectrum as wide receivers, right? I think Xavier Worthy is still pretty underrated. We saw kind of what he could do towards the end of the last year in the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was kind of like a blowout at that point. But I think Xavier Worthy is just a very underrated wide receiver. Everyone just calls him a deep threat. He's a guy who can run routes. I think we could see a wide receiver, high-end wide receiver 3, low-end wide receiver 2 season from Xavier Worthy, depending on what happens with Rashee Rice for sure.
So you saw that. That's the thing that sticks out in my brain, what you brought up. The Super Bowl, the long touchdown where he just outthrows the coverage, he outthrows the safeties, right? And it was like, man, they have been trying. They had been trying that all season, and it
Just couldn't
only
get a
worked a
hold of it.
couple times.
Mhm.
But you saw it click. Maybe it clicked in the Super Bowl. And if that's the case, Rashee Rice, Xavier Worthy is gonna be one, like he'll be what Jameson Williams was for the Lions last year,
Mhm.
right? And so he's gonna be a value in Dynasty because you're gonna get roughly 14 or 15 points a game. It's gonna be high variance, but he's gonna swing weeks. And if you're a contender, you can use that as like a second or like a second flex, right? Like, because by that point you've selected 3 or 4 wide receivers when you're in a startup or something like that, or you could go ahead and get ahead of it and maybe send a first for him, because like people would definitely take first for him right now, right?
Oh, I think so. I think for some
If
reason
you
he's
wanted to
just.
get ahead of it and you're an Xavier Worthy guy, that I think that gets it done, right?
Are you an Xavier Worthy guy?
I am, but I'm not. I'm a big Rashee Rice guy. I'm not anti. I just think that the way that Xavier Worthy exists and thrives is not a high target. Like that's not. It's a high A dot, like big play. He's
Best
going to
ball.
be best ball, but I'm more reliant on the low A dot volume that Rashee Rice gets. So that's the way that like I said, I see him existing kind of as what Jameson Williams was for the Lions last year.
For sure. I think this is probably the best Chiefs on paper. This might be the best Chiefs offense we've had in a bit of time, right? And Rashee Rice is a big part of that. But let's get into the next big thing here, especially from a legal standpoint. It looks like the prosecution just completely dropped everything in regards to Quinshon Judkins. Like there's going to be no legal proceedings going on with him. But I was reading today that the NFL still might take a little bit of a penalty on him. What do you think? What is your view on Quinshon Judkins in regards to Dynasty? Are you going to take a gamble on him? Are you still willing to buy the dip? Or what's your plan of attack now that there seems to be no legal issues with him?
Man, if there's no legal issue, I don't think that there's anything to be concerned about from a long term. I mean, if for some reason they find him, the NFL puts their own adjudication on it and they say, hey, here's 2 games for, making us look stupid.
They've done that before too.
I mean, do you think that happens though? Even if it does happen, it shouldn't affect anything from a dynasty perspective.
Oh, for sure. I think there could be like a 2 to 3 game type thing where it's like that. What's that personal conduct policy that they usually sometimes will throw out?
Right.
I don't think it hurts him dynasty wise, but you really don't want your rookie running back getting a late start. Like this dude's had no training camp, right? This dude is going to maybe miss a few games during the regular season. I don't love that, to be honest. Like that scares the shit out of me slightly because we've seen running backs get a late start and they never really kind of hit where they want them to. You see what I'm saying? Like the talent aspect, I could see him being like a top 15 guy at the worst, right? But if he gets off to a slow start and never really gels with this offense, and then if the Browns stink and they bring in a new coaching staff, that could be another red flag, right? So I'm kind of letting him pass me by at this point.
It's okay. Like you'd have to be making a bet that he was going to take a step forward in maybe 2026 in order to buy right now, because you can't have a lot of faith that offense is going to be what I mean. The only offense in that division that they would have an argument with is the Steelers.
Steve was so bad.
You see what I'm saying? So like you can't even begin to formulate an argument for them being anything other than maybe the 3rd best offense in their own division. Now extrapolate that out. It's like they were already the 4th worst rushing attack in all of football last year, and they only had 8 rushing touchdowns. I do think Quinshon Judkins is talented enough to produce in an environment like that because of the volume, but it also could go the way of Melvin Gordon when he was a rookie, right? Like a lot of yards, somewhat inefficient, and he didn't even score a touchdown, if I'm not mistaken.
I think you're right. Yeah, it sounds
So,
about right. It was a weird year for him.
Yeah, but the next year he bounced back and went over 1,000 yards and became Melvin Gordon that we thought when he was with Wisconsin. So
you know who else did that? Miles Sanders too.
Yeah,
That was another one.
Yeah,
that was weird. That was a weird year. But my fear is if he misses time, and they have a guy who we both kind of like I wasn't a huge fan of Dylan Sampson, but if you want a guy that can make a big play at pretty much from anywhere on the field, Dylan Sampson is that dude. He might not be like the most efficient runner, kind of like what we're just talking about, because I think he's more of a outside zone type runner than he is in between the tackles. But I would be a little concerned if he starts to really look good, and that could hurt Quinshon just a bit. Would you rather have RJ Harvey or Quinshon right now in Dynasty?
RJ Harvey.
Really? That's a switch from you from earlier in the draft, I believe, right?
It doesn't it
doesn't feel right? You're clutching your pearls on that one.
Yeah, it doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel good right now, but the environment is so much better for the talent. So for me, I really like both of these players. The situation is so much better for RJ Harvey, for his skill set, the play caller, the amount that they throw the ball to the running back, the quarterback. There's so many questions that I have answered for RJ Harvey. So dynasty wise, I would bet on RJ Harvey getting me a 15-point a game season before I would Quinshon Judkins over this next 2 years.
Oh, for sure. I could see that, especially in PPR. Standard, I think you could flip that.
Yeah, I mean, I think Quinshon Judkins could be one of those guys that he's just a monster in the green zone, low red zone. He scores 12, 13, 14 touchdowns because he's a freaking monster. I think he's super talented. It's just
sure.
We're evaluating the situation and and the player that is in that situation. I don't have that much of a different outlook for either one in terms of how much I thought they would be good as players in the NFL. So yeah, of course, I'm gonna take the situation over a slight difference in my opinion on which one I like better.
Everything around Quinshon Judkins is just a major situationship, from the team, from his own personal stuff. It's just everything in the world is just a situation. I know you're high on another guy too, Caleb Johnson. Who are you feeling more comfortable with right now? Because the Caleb Johnson news, I think it's progressively worse by the day.
Every day, something just worse happens for Caleb Johnson. And I think that it's more noise and not signal.
I think so too.
I think it's going to be fine, but I don't think my problem more so than anything was Arthur Smith. Okay? Arthur Smith,
the most terrifying human being.
Arthur Smith be on that bullshit, bro. Let's just be honest. He'll be on that bullshit. So
he made us think Bijan's rookie year was not good. In my mind, when I think about Bijan's rookie season because of Arthur Smith, I'm like, man, it really wasn't as good as I hoped for. And then when you go look at the stats and watch the games, it's like, oh wow, he was actually pretty good. That's the Arthur Smith effect. It's just awfulness. It's just everything's awful.
Right. Everybody, you're packing your bags with Caleb Johnson in 2025. You're about to get 190 Jaylen Warren carries that nobody asked for.
Don't forget the receptions too.
Yeah. And another 35 receptions between Connor Hayward, Jonnu Smith and
Darnell
Pat
Washington.
Freiermuth with a sprinkle of red zone, 17 end zone targets for Darnell Washington. You're gonna get some 4 tight end personnel. 0-4 personnel is the look that we're going for this year with Arthur Smith. Dude, fuck Arthur Smith. He sucks so much. He's gonna ruin my Caleb Johnson. The only solace that I have is that by the time Arthur Smith is done ruining my sweet prince, I'll be able to get him for cheaper at the end of 2025 than I can right now.
Yeah. So back to the question at hand, Quinshon or Caleb at this point? Oh, see? The nerves are in. I can see it.
I don't like what you did right now, buddy. I'm just telling you, I don't like it. I'm gonna go. I have to go. I've got to go. I've got to go, Quinshon.
Yeah, me too, to be honest with you. I have never been a big Caleb Johnson believer, to be honest with you, especially when he went to Pittsburgh. I was not enthused by that move. I thought Iowa created a lot of rushing lanes for him. They were one of the highest ranked rushing lines in the country last year. And then he goes to one of the worst offensive rushing lines in Pittsburgh with Arthur Smith, with Jaylen Warren, who, we might not love, but is an electric dude who can, make some plays. He was a nice piece to that offense last year with Najee Harris. So I don't think he just goes away. Like, I don't think he's gone.
Right. So
I'm still taking Quinshon, even from just a talent aspect. I'm going with Judkins here, but let's move on. I hate to put you on the spot like that, but we get a little hot and heavy on this podcast. Whoa, not like that. We're like 60 minutes. We got 60 minutes this show where every question's hard hitting. Oh, all right. Next one. We got
crazy. That was crazy.
Kyren Williams, 3 years, $33 million. James Cook, 4 years, $48 million. So the reason I'm bringing the Kyren part up, we didn't have a show last week, so I didn't have a chance to really talk about it. We'll start out with the first question here. What team with the Bills and the Rams do you think got the best deal between the two?
Kyren Williams. Yeah, I mean, James Cook's appropriately paid, in my opinion. I think his efficiency year over year is going to be, around, between 4.8 to 5.2 yards a carry. Like, maybe he spikes a few more 5-yard a carry seasons and we get some 40 or 50 reception seasons in our future. And he's locked in back end RB1. And he's compensated as such. But Kyren Williams, the deal is, I feel like it's much better just because he wasn't going to, I don't think he was going to command on the open market what James Cook would have, just because it's such a scheme specific, usage specific. He runs their scheme extremely well, right? And they've adapted, gone from, the wide zone early in the Todd Gurley years to now a heavy gap scheme, right? And Kyren Williams thrives in that. So you've got him locked up for 3 years. Now we're going to get another 275, 300 touches for Kyren. Really? He's going to handle all the goal line. He's going to handle the goal line stuff. And he's going to be cheaply mispriced. And we're going to find another reason to fade him, and Jarquez Hunter's going to take his job, and you're going to be able to buy him for cheap and just laugh all the way to the bank. And that's just the story of so the deal for me is a little bit better, whereas James Cook is never going to be the goal line back for the Buffalo Bills, right?
Especially with 18 touchdowns last year. I don't think he repeats that either.
Right. I mean, they scored 32 rushing touchdowns as a team. Josh Allen is locked for double-digit touchdowns. And so Ray Davis is another guy who they utilized quite a bit last year. I mean, he had 113 carries to James Cook's 207. So, yeah, they paid more. He's utilized less. And
it's a very confusing pay for them, to be honest with you, too.
Right. And I'm glad to see it, because now we got a definitive opinion on James Cook for the next few years, right? He's 24 years old. He's going to play out his apex of his career in Buffalo in an elite offense. So we can feel confident if you have James Cook, and charge appropriately if you want to get out.
I still think, back to Kyren with Jarquez Hunter. I really do think Jarquez Hunter has a role to play in this offense this coming year. I think he's going to get more run than what Blake Corum had last year, and that was none. So I think we do see Jarquez Hunter sprinkled in here. I do think that eats into, what'd you say, almost 300 touches between rushing and receiving for Kyren, you think?
Mm-hmm.
I'd bet on the low end of that. I'd say 250 to 220, 225 to 250, because I do think
touches or carries?
Touches. No, carries. Yeah. And then probably another 30. So maybe 250 to 280 altogether.
Okay, 250 to 280 altogether. I don't mind that.
Yeah, that's still productive.
He's still gonna be finished. I mean, if he stays healthy. I mean,
that's another thing too.
The year before, he was 21 points a game.
Mm-hmm.
And then last year he did it on the back of just volume. So you have it where you could get a mixture of both and it still be really, really good.
Does the Matthew Stafford scare you at all with Kyren?
Yes. That's terrifying.
Yeah, because that's what that was the next thing I was gonna go with. It could be bad this year for him, to be honest with you. If Matt Stafford isn't able to go for the first few weeks. So they are just gonna fucking stack the box and let Jimmy G or Stenson Bennett try to beat them, passing the ball. And that's just bad news for everybody. The James Cook deal, though, kind of shocked me. $12 million a year, essentially. I think 30 some odd was guaranteed money, right?
Yep.
That puts him in the Josh Jacobs payment range. And I hate to say it, because I think James Cook is a very solid running back. And I don't think he's at the Josh Jacobs level. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
So it's tough because
they're different players too.
They get it done differently. And I think James Cook is underutilized in the Buffalo. I know it's crazy to say, but I feel like he has a really high ceiling as a pass catcher that's just not being utilized at all.
I could agree with that. I thought, because last year when I looked at the touchdowns at 18 and I only saw 2 through the air, I was like, that's kind of surprising for me. I thought maybe at least 4 to 5. And I was just kind of shocked by that, because I think he was one of the best pass catching running backs in this league right now. I don't think Josh Allen, as a mobile quarterback, really looks to check down. He's going to fucking run.
Yeah. Well, he throws it to slot receivers. Like that's the easy button, is like Khalil Shakir's and the Cole Beasley from back in the day, right? And so they don't utilize him in that manner, even though it's been really good when he has a 4 touchdown season, 4 touchdown receptions in the season.
2 years ago, yeah.
So like it's been really good. The results have been positive. They just don't really do it. So I do think that he's capable of that, and he represents that for them, even though they choose not to use him that way.
Who do you have ranked higher in Dynasty, Kyren or Cook? I imagine it's Kyren based on everything you were kind of just saying.
Yeah, it would be, man, I'm going to tell you. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, actually, now that you're doing that, I'm going to look at mine too, because I just kind of, back in July, I updated it. I haven't updated it for August. I was kind of waiting till the regular season anyway at this point.
Right.
Let's see.
Let's see here. Yeah, I've got Kyren ahead of James Cook.
Where do you have them?
RB14.
Which one? Cook?
I had Kyren at RB14.
And so where's Cook for you?
Where is Cook on here?
Yeah, I'll tell you what. The worst thing about ranking players is forgetting people.
Yeah.
Because then you have to fucking go back and fix everything again.
Oh, RB18. RB18.
Wow. RB18?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So I have
Kyren, Kenneth Walker, Josh Jacobs, CMC, James Cook.
I have Cook at No, 12, apparently. I don't know why. That feels high for me. And then I have Kyren at 15.
I can see. I can understand why most people would have it flipped.
And that, you know why? It's because exactly what you said earlier, and it's the pass catching. I think James Cook, like, just fucking throw the ball to him. It's one of the most frustrating things, to be honest with you.
Right.
So that's pretty much why.
We're on the same page. We're on the same
annoying.
page. It doesn't make sense, but like they keep winning games and they keep being one of the most efficient offenses, whether they decide to be one of the most run heavy offenses or they let Josh Allen play hero ball, which even last year, Josh Allen had a 7% hero throw rate. And that was the most, that was the best in the league. Yes.
Wow. That's a good one. I've seen big time throw rate. I didn't know. Is it big time throw rate? Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Is that a different? Is that essentially the same?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I like that. I like it because guy we're probably going to talk about at some point. Probably is going to have a big hero time throw rate in Cam Ward. But last question on this: who's more of a threat to that running back, Jarquez Hunter or Ray Davis?
Ray Davis.
Yeah.
You believe that Jarquez Hunter is going to have a bigger role than I do?
That's tough. I think both of them are extremely talented.
Yes. No. There's no question about talent. It's just about Sean McVay's usage with his running backs.
True. That's true. And it's the dude drafts one every fucking year, and it's super frustrating.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we do this every single year. And we're like, man, this guy's he's gonna take it away from the guy. And then the guy's still the guy, and you can get him cheaper than we should be able to. And then we're like, man, all right, it's this guy's turn now. And it's like, just look at this like you would with like a healthy, just not saying that they're going to give you this type of production, but if Christian McCaffrey was healthy and they're still drafting running backs every single year, would you give a shit?
Depends on the draft capital.
Because they do it every single year. Yeah. They both do it every single year. So
I will say, though, and maybe this is part of it, I was never a Blake Corum believer, right? And I know a lot of people were panicking about Blake Corum when that draft pick happened. You know, all of a sudden, Kyren Williams was returning punts in training camp, and then the Blake Corum draft pick, and everyone's like, what the fuck? I never really bought into that. But what I just watched Jarquez Hunter as a running back last year, just a guy who kind of even reminds me of a Kyren Williams, just a bowling ball, right? Ray Davis, too. It's just crazy. These are the type of running backs I love, to be honest with you. So it's hard for me to pick between the two. Just Jarquez gives me a little bit extra fear. The draft capital's there. The video, behind the scenes video of them like jumping for joy when they drafted him, you know, that's there. And some of the buzz about him this offseason has been solid as well, right? And I don't remember that much from Blake Corum last year. I don't know if you do. I don't remember a lot of positives. No.
I'm not really a Blake Corum guy.
Me either.
I thought so. I said that like it was
the Michigan bump.
I thought it was them winning the national championship, Blake Corum, you know, slipping because he didn't really represent himself as well as he wanted to. And then when they got him, it's insurance in case things went poorly with Kyren's contract negotiations. You're not starting from scratch. You've got a player that you like, and you're going to see if he can handle what it takes to be the McVay back.
Yeah, I think I agree. He really got, and JJ McCarthy too got the Michigan national championship bump. But that's a conversation for another time.
Oh, don't you talk bad about JJ McCarthy, man. You're gonna make people upset, brother.
I think I've made it pretty I think I've made it pretty fucking obvious from my tweets, from my podcasts, from everything that I am part of the JJ McCarthy haters club. It's probably just me by my fucking self. But
I don't hate it because you should have a little bit just in case you're wrong.
Nope. I go down with
have
the
a
ship.
little bit just in case you're wrong, brother.
I put all chips in or out. There's no in between.
And listen, I'm a
No,
little bit,
so
Mike, I'm a
I
little bit
agree.
older than you. I'm just
Yeah.
telling you, I have learned to just get a couple shares just in case you're wrong. So you can, like, you don't have to be all the way wrong. You can get right a little bit easier.
Yeah. No, you're
And
not.
then-
You're not definitely not wrong. To be honest with you, there are certain players that I've been completely out on that I've taken a share of. Right. I've done that before. JJ McCarthy was not one of them for me, and that could end up biting me. But I was never a believer in the talent, and I've always been a firm believer in talent over situation.
That's fair. That's fair. That's how we should play the game. But I mean, they're saying that he's really talented, though, brother.
They're also saying, I mean, I've seen a bunch of different. So I think we're at the part now in social media where I can't always tell the difference on who the fuck is trolling me and who is not. Because I've seen negatives about JJ McCarthy. I've seen positives. I don't know what the fuck's going on. I don't know which way is up at this point in social media. So, but you are seeing positive. I know we're getting off topic, but you've seen some positives about JJ. He did look good. Yeah. I watched his
positive stuff.
Yeah. I watched that preseason game. I think I even was sending clips because, you know, when I'm watching film, I'm sending clips to the group chat of things that I've seen. There were a couple of nice throws that he made. I get really jazzed about certain things on film, and I gotta like share it with the class, like fucking. Like,
I mean, I
show
love
and
it.
tell.
Yeah, I love it. Like that's how we get better. It's great. Like
sure.
It's one of my favorites. So,
actually, now that you mentioned that, and this is another side topic. One of the other things I wanted to say during this news and notes segment is that this is related just to me. I signed up for the Scouting Academy film classes that's held online that I joined so I could help better everybody, you know, with their film evaluation process. Not even just for me, for everybody. So when I do these, you know, player breakdowns, I could be a little more confident. So just a little bit of news from the Dynasty Dog home front of what I'm going to be doing. So I might not be as active on social media much coming up in the next month, but I'm just doing it to get better. It's all that matters. I just want to create a better product for everybody out there, help everybody win some money, or, you know, just bragging rights. That's all that matters at the end of the day, is being better than everybody else, right? So just a little bit of news on the home front here. But Chev, let's get into what we wanted to talk about here. And that is going to be the AFC South. And I'm going to let you lead us off with this one. And I'm going to make you go with the Jaguars here first. You want to go positive or negative with the Jaguars? Or let's first start with this. What do you think of the Jaguars this season?
I'm intrigued. From a dynasty perspective, I'm very intrigued by what it could be. Mm-hmm. You've got Travis Hunter, one of my favorite players. I'm anxious to see how it works out from a fantasy perspective. So I've been a little bit bearish on his outlook output wise. And you've got Brian Thomas Jr., who basically has become one of those Omega level talents. I mean, we saw him dominate a season of SEC football, and we're like, man, I don't know if that guy's that good. And then we saw him dominate the NFL. And people are like, man, but I don't know. I don't know if he could do that with, you know, a better coach and a former first overall pick at quarterback. I don't know if he's good. Okay. I don't know.
This is a promo on me right now. I feel like, well, from his draft process, not really so much now, because now I've completely turned around on this one. Like I see what you see.
Listen, it's better to be wrong and then be right than to be wrong and never be right at all.
Keep fighting it.
Yeah. Like I did the same thing.
He only did it with Mac Jones. What the fuck is he gonna look like with Trevor Lawrence? I could be that guy, but I'm not gonna do it.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just like, man, sometimes we galaxy brain stuff, and it's like, man, why would we think that Brian Thomas Jr. is not going to be able to sustain fantasy relevance and dominate the way that he did with a guy that is clearly better than Mac Jones.
No, there's no argument to that whatsoever. I'll be
So
honest. I mean, I've talked about it on here a bunch, right? And I've had my come to Jesus moments. I've said my sermons on the Mount, my apologies, whatever. I was worried about him coming out. There was a game against Bama, I believe it was, where Teron Arnold, the corner for them at the time, was just hands on him all day. And he was just having trouble separating. He didn't like being touched. He was like, no touch. And he just couldn't handle it. And that scared the shit out of me, right? And it probably shouldn't, because I saw the freakish athleticism. I saw the raw traits, and I should have just bet on that because, again, I'm a guy who believes in talent, but I saw something that I couldn't get past, right? And I've seen the light coming from his rookie season in Jacksonville, now with a better quarterback, with what we hope is a better offensive scheme with Liam Cohen, like you mentioned. I agree with you.
Yeah. I mean, so it just kind of it rests on the shoulders of Trevor Lawrence for him to kind of take a step forward. I mean, they paid him all that money. He's paid like a franchise guy. He's got to deliver franchise results. They've been to the playoffs one time. They've got a playoff victory, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in heroic fashion or tragic collapse, however you want to look at that shit. But even still, that being the case, we've got more. I still feel like we have more questions and answers about Trevor Lawrence and how he can affect their franchise. And can he support, and from a fantasy perspective, can he support multiple weapons? Like how much can he unlock Travis Hunter's truly unlimited potential as a wide receiver? Like how much do we believe in him?
We did see him do it at Clemson, but it hasn't happened in the NFL yet.
Right. Like we've seen him do it, like, and now he's been surrounded with weapons like he had when he was at Clemson. So, I mean, you've got your college roommate, at running back. You've got another bruiser who led the league in the yards after contact per attempt in Tank Bigsby. You've got a supersonic burner in Bashil Tootin. And you've got this whole cabinet of weapons. So he's got so many toys at his disposal, no Diddy, that he has no choice but to succeed. Like I don't know what to make of Trevor Lawrence if he fails. Well, I know what to make of him. It's over if he fails in this scenario and they're not a good team. But I don't know if I could say they're a playoff team right now. I don't know if I feel comfortable saying that. But what direction do you want to go here? What do you want to talk about?
I was going to ask you, do you want to go positive, dog tag, or dog house them first?
Let's go dog tag.
All right. Tell us who you're in on for the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I have a strange feeling I already know who it is based on.
After much thought, deep thought, meditation, I sat in the dark and ate a bowl of ice cream, farted, closed my eyes, stayed in the dark for days and days for my dog tag. And here we are. And I'm going to go with Travis Etienne. I am all in on Travis Etienne in 2025, baby.
Okay. Tell me why. Just for 2025 or beyond?
Just for 2025.
Okay. I can see that. But go on. Tell me about it.
So he fits the build of what you want for a Liam Cohen style back. And pretty much in every other stop, you could go back to Liam Cohen's time at Kentucky when he had Ray Davis, and Ray Davis was an absolute unit and a bell cow at the University of Kentucky. You can go back to his tenure with the Rams. Whenever Cam Akers was healthy, he operated as a workhorse under Liam Cohen. When Bucky Irving finally claimed the entire workload from Rachaad White, he operated as a bell cow. And the skill set itself lends the skill set requirement for this offense and the running backs and the way that they use their running backs, and their 5th highest in screen percentage with Liam Cohen last year with the Bucks, and all that lends itself to Travis Etienne being the perfect fit for this system. And we just saw it in the preseason game. He was out there. He dominated the snaps with Trevor Lawrence. And now why are we acting like this is noise and not signal? Like,
I think it's been everything else that we've heard out of training camp. Literally, the Jaguars threw us a fucking like reverse Uno card. We have no idea what just happened because all training camp it was Tank Bigsby, Tank Bigsby, Tank Bigsby. It's the first preseason game, Travis Etienne. Like, what the fuck just happened? Right? I see the vision though, and I usually see when we've done startups and stuff like that. Those two usually have either flip-flopped or gone around the same ADPs in some drafts that I've been a part of. What do you think he looks like this season from a running back finish, Etienne?
I think he could be – I think if he's going to handle the majority of the touches in that offense, he's going to be in the top 20.
Okay. I could see that. And I still think that lends itself to Tank Bigsby still being relevant. In my opinion.
I think Tank Bigsby could be like a low, like a RB 20, ceiling of RB 24, but like probably like RB 30, between RB 24 and RB 36.
I think the Jags don't realize they have, David Montgomery and a lesser Jahmyr Gibbs at home, like the way they should be using them. And they, for whatever reason, don't. I don't think Tank is a very good pass catcher. I kind of had.
We just haven't. He's never done it. I think he did it a bit at Auburn, if I'm not mistaken.
He did, but it wasn't. He didn't look super comfortable to me, if I remember correctly. He looked all right.
It's not like it's not, but it's not like Jordan Howard bad.
No. I actually think, like, when I remember watching Tank's tape going back to Auburn, that he looked like a more secure pass catcher than Bashal Tutin to me. I did not trust Tutin's hands at all in his film evaluation. I think Etienne could be a sneaky buy this offseason. I think him and Tank are both pretty appropriately priced. I do think you have a higher ceiling with Etienne for sure because of the pass catching work. What are you willing to give up for him at this point?
I'd feel comfortable if I wanted to take a shot and I was a contender, giving up a second.
Okay, I could see that.
Like
see,
if I knew my second was going to be like 2.9 to 212, I could do that.
I had this kind of conversation. I forget what the actual conversation was in of itself on the other podcast that I do, the Triple Threat Pod. I have no issue really throwing out seconds for running backs if I'm a contender because I want to take those gambles on like a Travis Etienne that he hits his ceiling. I want to take that gamble on Tank Bigsby that he's going to get some goal line and, break off some nice runs here and there when I'm trying to win, right? And I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And people undervalue that. Like just buying running backs for seconds, even like those ones that are considered backups, but still get some work because you never know who's going to go down and when, right? When you're trying to win. So I like that move by you. But let's get negative with the Jaguars. Who's in your dog house? If you say Travis Hunter, I might cry.
It's Tank Bigsby.
Oh, damn it. I should have put my Tank Bigsby jersey on for this.
Whew. I don't want to be here.
Okay.
I don't want to be here. But, I mean.
What brings you to this place?
I don't see the fit. Like, unless they're going to just use him for early downs and goal line work, he's going to be a poor man's Jamal Williams.
You forget about that one year with Jamal Williams, who just kept falling in the fucking end zone, though.
Yeah, that's what it's going to take.
Oh, that hurts
That's
my
what I
soul
feel
a
like.
little bit.
That's what I feel like it's going to take. So you can. The thing with Tank Bigsby is right now we don't know if we're right about that, right? Like we don't know if we're right about that at this moment. I'm thinking that just the skill set just doesn't really doesn't translate to usage in the Liam Cohen offense. Now, if they trade him at the deadline and he goes somewhere where they will just absolutely use him as a hammer and give him carries inside the 5-yard line, then step 3 is generational wealth.
Mm.
So, but right now, I'm not sure that they're going to use him in the way in which he's best served in Jacksonville.
I'm a big Tank believer, and I from everything that I was reading this offseason, I was starting to get a little hype. Maybe the hype got a little out of control, but he was one of my bounce back players last year, and I felt good about that because he did look much better than what he did his rookie season. Right? I'm hoping he continues that. But with the plethora of running backs that they have, and you're right, if anyone is to comp to what Liam Cohen has done in the past, especially last year, it is Travis Etienne with Bucky Irving, with Rashad White, like pass catching backs who can run between the tackles, can break it outside, everything like that.
Right.
I am also worried, the fact that they brought in not just 1, 2 running backs in this draft, right? So that hurts the backup, in my opinion. And as of right now, from what we can tell, it's Tank Bigsby just based on 1 preseason game. Now, the next 2 preseason games, Tank is like the starter. Then we might be would your discussion be a little bit different?
Yeah. I mean, we adapt to new information, so yeah, it will have to be different. But as of right now today, I've got to go with Tank. I mean, I still like Brenton Strange a lot.
That's another one. Yeah,
that was the one I was considering, but I don't have any reason to be down on him. And Travis Hunter, like, man, I'm not just because I say, hey, exercise caution with selecting Travis Hunter if your team isn't. People think that like the FF Dynasty hates Travis Hunter, and it's like, no, man. If your team sucks, don't select Travis Hunter. Don't do that unless you got a ready built like championship contender and you can take the blow of him not returning as a receiver. And that turned into we hate Travis Hunter. So here we are in the year of our Lord 2025.
I just had a buddy of mine trade Travis Hunter for, let's see what you think about this, DJ Moore in a 26th second.
I would take Travis Hunter for that.
I think I would take Travis Hunter there too. It's a higher upside play at that point. And we obviously have no idea what 2026 is going to look like, and we don't know where that pick is going to be either.
Right. I would take Travis Hunter. The ceiling on Travis Hunter is, I mean, a top 5 wide receiver in all fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they could have 2 top 10 receivers perennially. They would cannibalize each other a bit. Yeah. But it would be like Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne.
AJ Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yes. But like they actually throw the ball. T. Higgins more touches.
Sure, for sure. All right. Let me get into the Colts.
Come on.
I think you're going to be upset with my doghouse. I'm going to start negative here first.
Oh wow.
Because I know this is a fan favorite. I know this is green arrows pointing everywhere. But this player is pretty much, to me, Wan'Dale Robinson, but more expensive.
No.
And that's Josh Downs. I am not a huge believer in Josh Downs, to be honest with you. We've seen injury concerns with him, 3 games missed last year. He had a nice rookie season. I can't deny that. Problem is with him is that he got force-fed by Joe Flacco. We're talking about 54 receptions out of his 75 came with Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco ain't there anymore. That's a guy who likes to – I can see it in your face. You're not happy with me, right? But to me, Josh Downs, like I said, is just green arrows of Wan'Dale Robinson. You could get the same player in Wan'Dale Robinson for a round cheaper for trade value wise. I'm very concerned about Josh Downs, dude, especially since they brought in my dog tag. I'm not going to give it away just yet, but I don't really see the path going forward where he's anything better than a wide receiver 3. Tell me I'm wrong, because I like Josh Downs. I could see it. I could see it. I could see it. You want to yell at me? I don't know, man. I think I'd rather spend a third on Wan'Dale Robinson before I spent a second or 2 seconds on Josh Downs any day of the week. Tell me about it.
This is my. I was holding my breath and I lost it for a second there. I blacked out. I thought you said, so we were talking about the Colts, and when you were talking about the Colts, you started out negative, but then I was like, he's gonna talk about like Michael Pittman, and I was like, and then
that would have made you happy.
And then I heard Josh Downs, and I blacked out. So I'm back.
I think his
now.
ADP is too high, also. By the way,
I'm back now, and out of all the receivers, like we can't fade Josh Downs.
Why can't
we can't do it? We can't do it. I mean, we're talking about a guy who put up 13 points a game in that putrid, just disgusting, just garbage disposal, bargain bin, cannon fodder, trash offense. And this guy put up 13 points a game. He was the preeminent target earner in Indianapolis last year. And now he's one of the favorite targets of Anthony Richardson in camp. So if you're going to bet on any receiver in Indianapolis, he's cheap enough. Yeah.
On Dynasty Daddy, I'm seeing a 205. I'm seeing 2 seconds.
Yeah, I would send a 205 for Josh Downs, 100%.
No, I can't do it.
I would.
Hold on. Kyle Williams or Josh Downs?
Josh Downs.
Really? I'm kind of surprised to hear you say that.
Yeah. Josh Downs is really good, man.
Listen, you're forgetting the fact that a lot of what he did last year came with Joe Flacco.
That's fine.
Joe Flacco's not there anymore. Anthony Richardson.
It's not about Joe Flacco. It's about Josh Downs. It's about Josh Downs being able to get open and then throw him the ball. He's open, and then thus he gets the ball.
Listen, I would rather spend. So he goes around an ADP of these wide receivers. You ready to let me hit you with it?
Come on. Oh, wow. What? What?
Damn it. Khalil Shakir.
Uh-huh.
Who do you want there?
Give me Josh Downs.
Chris Godwin.
Give me Josh Downs.
I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't do it.
You mean Chris Godwin with alphabet soup ankles?
Chris Godwin has been a fucking phenomenal, very good. I can't say phenomenal.
Chris Godwin is 29 years old.
He's 28.
Downs is 24.
Yeah, and we're talking about Josh Downs, who's also been injured every single season, 3 last year and then the year before.
He plays 14 or 15 games. Played 14 games last year. I believe he played 15 the year before.
14, yeah. Mm-hmm.
14 both years.
14
right?
and 15, I think you were right the first
time. Okay. So yeah, you're going to miss 1 or 2 games. He's going to give you 13 points a game. And if the passing offense goes from bottom 5 to just respectable, you could get a 1,000-yard receiver with 80 catches and 6 touchdowns for a second round pick. And he's 24 years old.
You could get the same thing from Wan'Dale Robinson for a round cheaper.
Ew, no.
Yes, you can.
Wan'Dale Robinson had 93 catches for 600
and 5 TD. He finished as wide receiver 44 points per game. What's his name? Josh Downs was 35, 36. There's really not a huge difference between the two.
Dude, there's a vast chasm of differences in talent, and if I got 140 targets for Josh Downs, I guarantee you he would be a top 15 wide.
You're not going to see that though. You're never going to see that now.
Okay. Well, even still, he outproduced Wan'Dale Robinson, and I think the ceiling for Josh Downs is much, much, much higher than I do for Wan'Dale Robinson.
I don't know if it's much higher. I could agree. It's probably similar.
Much.
To me, the floor is safer with Wan'Dale.
No.
You don't think so? No? Okay. I think we differ on that one. We differ on that one for sure. But another reason why, and it's going to bring me into my dog tag, why I'm lower on Josh Downs, Tyler Warren. I think Tyler Warren.
I like Tyler Warren.
Yeah. See? I'm bringing you back. I had to upset you a little bit. I had to bring you back a little bit. Tyler Warren, I think, is going to eat into a lot of what Josh Downs does, right? Both of their ADOTs are eerily similar, especially coming out of college for Tyler Warren. It was, I have it here, I believe it was 6 to 7 yards. ADOT for Josh Downs, it was the same thing. So he's going to be doing a lot of what Josh Downs does. Yards after catch, very similar, but they also both, line up in the slot a lot. Tyler Warren was able to line up in line, line up in the slot. He even saw some out wide targets last year. So I am really high on Tyler Warren. I've seen Colson Loveland go ahead of him in plenty of drafts. I think you have too. And I think that's the biggest mistake of all, is taking Colson Loveland over a Tyler Warren. Because if you look at the two archetypes, and that's why I just want to go on this, how much I think people – I think buying Tyler Warren would be fantastic if you could get it done. I don't know if anybody's doing it right now because you just drafted him. You're all excited that things are positive right now. But more or less, I wanted to talk about how the two archetypes of Colson Loveland and Tyler Warren are polar opposites. We've seen a more success from guys like Tyler Warren than we have from Colson Loveland's archetype. Colson Loveland falls in that archetype of Kyle Pitts, Dalton Kincaid, those kind of guys. We're still waiting, right? Tyler Warren, on the other hand, falls into guys like George Kittle. He falls into guys like, I don't want to say Travis Kelce because I think that's he's pretty much in the middle of both of those archetypes. He just is different. To me, if you were to take, speaking of number 44 from the Colts, Dallas Clark into that offense right now, you would have Tyler Warren. And I think that's fantasy gold right there. I am bullish enough to have him in my top 5 dynasty tight end ranks right now. What do you think of Tyler Warren? And do you think he eats into my Josh Downs conversation?
I don't think he will.
No? You don't think he vultures anything?
I think that he's going to function in a totally different manner than Josh Downs.
Really?
I think he's gonna be the cover 3, the seam beater. Like, wow. I think he's going to have one of the highest ADOTs.
That is kind of different what he's done in college, though.
Well, like he could function as a traditional like inline tight end, but you can do so many more things with him. Mm-hmm. And I think that if you manufacture touches for him, like if you're going to run the jet sweeps and do the stuff like that, or like another way that he functions is as a goal line back in the red zone. Like I think that there's a bunch of different ways where Tyler Warren can be excellent for fantasy this year. I don't think that he's going to have a shit ton of volume. Like I think we might see 90 targets, which would be really good for a rookie tight end, but we would be clamoring like, why couldn't we get 110 target season for a guy like Tyler Warren, who gives you like 8 or 9 touchdowns, like 6 receiving touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns or something crazy like that. We might throw a touchdown, right? So like, I think that he's one of the most unique talents, which is weird because now we're getting these guys year in and year out that come in with these incredible skill sets at the tight end position, Sam Laporta. Then you got a truly generational talent in Brock Bowers. And then you got a guy with the skill set like Tyler Warren has. And no slight at all to Colston Loveland, who is a really good tight end. It's just those guys, like, there's more of a path for a guy to play like Rob Gronkowski than it is, a Travis Kelce to mold in that manner, right? Like, there aren't that many guys that get to function like that. So I'm on the Tyler Warren train. I do think that they'll both be really good, especially for Dynasty. I'm fine if I miss on Tyler Warren. If it just the board doesn't fall to me in a startup, I'm okay taking Colston Loveland a little bit later.
I've seen the opposite things happening though.
That has happened for sure.
Yeah. I've seen it a decent amount of times, almost an uncomfortable amount. Like even on this podcast, Rich's, his tight end one was Colston Loveland for a while.
Yeah, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people, man. That's a lot of people.
And it makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I listen, I can see it, but I feel like I've been seeing it with a bunch of tight ends that like a Colston Loveland where it hasn't worked out and it scares the shit out of me. Now, why I think, I was bringing in to the Josh Downs versus Tyler Warren debate is a lot of things like you mentioned, the Swiss Army knife approach that Tyler Warren has, short yardage, can be used out of the backfield, can be used in a bunch of different ways, end arounds, really good after the catch, kind of like, like a George Kittle kind of player. I just think he eats into his targets, and I think it happens sooner than we're ready. Now, I'm not talking about like a Sam Laporta or a Brock Bowers type rookie season, because those are anomalies, right? But if we have a very solid, like a tight end 8 finish for Tyler Warren to tight end 7 finish for Tyler Warren, I think we'll be pleasantly happy. And I really do fear that could put a damper on a lot of people's fan favorite in Josh Downs. I keep saying it, but I think Michael Pittman is still the best wide receiver on that football team. Adonai Mitchell, I can't buy in just yet. He scares me. But
if we're talking talent.
From talent, I was 100%.
If you're talking talent, it's AD Mitchell. I would go AD Mitchell, Josh Downs, Alec Pearson, Michael Pittman.
Your hatred knows no bounds for Michael Pittman. It's just that there's guys on his team that do things at the same position. They're just better than him. I think I actually agree with you from a talent aspect. AD Mitchell.
I mean, it's never going to, the snap share is never going to be that way because Michael Pittman is the highest paid guy in the room.
Mm-hmm. He's going to be the X all the time.
Yeah.
He's going to be the X, the boundary guy. But I just, I think I upset you enough and then got you excited. So let's bring it in back to excitement for you with the Tennessee Titans, your team. You want to go positive or negative with them first?
I'm going to go positive.
You have to, right?
You see that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready.
That hairline's invisible that you just tried to get there, but all right.
So, hey, I'm really excited about Calvin Ridley, man. It's been a couple years. We've said time and time again, hey, we can just get the guy some reliable quarterback play. You could get a monstrosity of a season from a guy like Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley was number 1 in uncatchable air yards, right? Like, he's number 1 in uncatchable air yards, and he still put up 1,000 yards. He still was, had stretches of fantasy goodness where the balls actually were catchable, where he was dominant and had top 10 weeks. So Calvin Ridley gets the dog tag because of the fact that he has what I think is going to be the best quarterback play since, post Super Bowl Matt Ryan. And I think that's going to lock us into top 20, maybe even top 15 production, like a 12 to 1,300 yard season for Calvin Ridley is well within the range of outcomes because he's going to have catchable targets. So Calvin Ridley is my dog tag, brother.
And you want to talk about catchable targets. Look at all the targets he got in preseason week 1, right? I don't think he played. That game probably just ended, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I don't think he had any snaps in this game. But if you go back to preseason week 1, what do you have? 3, 4 targets on that first drive and a lot of really nice throws from Cam Ward. I agree with you. This is the best quarterback he's had since Matt Ryan, right? And the most willing to put the ball in the air for him that's going to be catchable in Cam Ward. I am also very bullish on Calvin Ridley. I think he falls into the category for me of priority veteran add, right? Or priority veteran buy. Because I do see that top 15 finish, right?
Yeah.
It's happened before. It's not like he's never done it. Obviously, it feels a long time ago because of the suspensions and bad quarterback play and everything like that. This dude can play. And from all accounts, he's just been hyper targeted by Cam Ward this whole offseason. And I'm 100% for it. I think even 15 to 20 is low. I think we could see 12 and to wide receiver 12. And I think we'd be very happy with that. Obviously very happy with that.
Yeah. The point being that he's going to way outperform where his ADP is in a startup and in redraft. He's
going behind your guy, Josh Downs.
I would take Calvin Ridley over Josh Downs.
For sure. Even in Dynasty for 2 years, I would still take Calvin Ridley for 2 years.
I would, just because if I'm a contender, I would be okay taking Josh. Oh, wow, Pacheco. Wowzers. He did a vintage Pacheco thing. He looked like Pacheco.
Oh boy. That's gonna hurt me a little bit because I've been very negative Pacheco, but we can't speak positive about the Chiefs right now. But we got to get negative about the Titans. Who is it?
Tajay Spears.
Oh, that hurts. That hurts the soul.
You knew it, bro.
Yeah.
You knew it. It's just, man, it's not me, it's him. I want to be in on Tajay Spears so bad, and every single time that we do this, he's like, my groin, my hammy, concussion. Bro, put you some aluminum foil on that brain, bro, and sit down somewhere. Like, I want to believe in Tajay Spears so much, and I can't. And it's really frustrating. So being here sucks. Having to talk about Tajay Spears as somebody who's not going to return value for me in the really near future also sucks really fucking bad. And I wish that we could say something different, but I just can't. So Tajay Spears is my dog tag. My dog house.
Yeah, it sucks because I'm going to be honest with you. He's a better running back when healthy than Tony Pollard.
He's explosive.
Yeah.
He is a walking mismatch. He has the
to me.
Yes, he has that type of lateral agility, and you've seen the pass catching chops. Like, he has it all. He just can't stay fucking healthy, man.
That dude was doing that with no ACLs, but still can't stay healthy. It sucks. And it's never the ACLs, I don't think, for him either.
No,
right?
No.
This hurts me because I really thought this could be the year for Tajay. Obviously we wanted him to see healthy. We always see it at the end of the season, and he brings us right back in the Derrick Henry year or towards the end of the season where he started to ball out a little bit. Then the end of last year started doing the same thing again. It's just, just when I think I'm out, he pulls me right back in, and I know he's going to fucking do it to me again. Right.
Yeah.
I can't let myself get there anymore. So I agree with you. What are you moving him for at this point? If anything you can get, or
if I got multiple thirds, I think I would do it right now.
Would you? All right. Here's a good one. Let's say Monungai in a third.
No, I'd keep Tajay.
You keep Tajay?
Yeah.
I'm just going with someone who's getting a little bit of hype.
Right.
Still getting a third, right? How about like 1-for-1 Jalen Wright? Who would you rather have?
1-for-1 Jalen Wright, Tajay.
Yeah. See? we keep thinking that it's going to be different because, Jalen Wright still has a role to play in that offense, even though he
Right.
can't finish from the goal line, even though I don't think it's all his fault. We still can't get rid of Tajay Spears, but multiple thirds you do.
Yeah.
Okay. I could agree with you on that.
Yeah.
But it sucks. Let me get into the Texans here. I'll start negative here. And this is going to suck because this is a guy I was touting highly last year, and it looked really good for a minute. And then towards the end of the season, really started to break down. I'm going to say Joe Mixon for me is going to the doghouse. He's on the NFI list right now, non-football related injury. They said that they're going to wait until closer to the season to reevaluate his leg. That makes me a little nervous, to be honest with you. Guy coming in at 29 years old who's had really no work at all this offseason. They drafted a guy in Woody Marks. They brought in, I don't think who's going to be super effective this year, but Nick Chubb, they brought him in. From weeks 15 through 17 for Joe Mixon, when you needed him most, when you put the bet signal up in the air for a fucking playoff time, he fucking vanished. He was no better. He was not even an RB2 for fantasy football. That bat symbol was fucking up there, and he let you down. I couldn't believe it. He ruined my championship run last year. Maybe that's why I'm down on Joe Mixon. But the injuries scare me. The 29 years old, the fall off from what he had last year at the end of the season. I'm ready to move off of him. He's going around guys in ADP like a Monty. David Montgomery. I think I feel more confident with David Montgomery right now. James Conner. I think the consonant professional and James Conner. I think I'm taking him. DeAndre Swift. I hate to admit it, but I think I'd rather bet on DeAndre right now than Joe Mixon. I don't know if you agree with me on that.
Yes, dude. Yeah.
That scares me because I've seen what Joe Mixon can be, right?
Man. No. I can't. No, dude. No.
I'm moving off of him, man.
29-year-old running back. 29-year-old running back with foot problems. A foot problem that's gone over 2 seasons now.
Yeah, right. For real.
Like he missed some time last year, and now he's missing time again with an undisclosed foot injury. Like, no, bro. Why would you be my greatest accomplishment in life of 2025 is getting a 2025 110 for Joe Mixon.
Wow. I wish I had an applause sounder here for you.
Dude, I like that is like one of my life achievements. Like I'm gonna make sure that my grandkids put that on my headstone.
I'll give you the Dynasty Dog arf arf.
Yeah.
I just put that in there today. It's from a band that I really like that has there randomly in there in a breakdown. I don't know why, but I'm so fucking scared for Joe Mixon, man. I really am. I think you could still get a second for him even from other contenders. Tell me what you think of this, because we did talk about this player earlier, and he's about worth a second at this point, maybe even a late second. Jaylen Warren and a fourth for Joe Mixon.
Jaylen Warren and a fourth for Joe Mixon.
Because I think Jaylen could even give you some contender help.
Jaylen Warren and a fourth. Yeah, I at this point
it sounds disgusting, right?
Yeah, it's not gross. Like I would probably just make myself pick another player besides Jaylen Warren. But if it had to be Jaylen Warren, I would take Jaylen Warren.
Another one. This one is going to be really interesting. Bucky Irving and a 26 second for Joe Mixon and a 27 first. This one's interesting because that 27 first throws a real big fucking FU to us.
We're not supposed to play Dynasty assuming classes will be good this far out.
True.
We're not supposed to do it. But I'm
going to do it anyway.
Yeah. Fuck it. I'm doing it anyway.
I'll do it again.
Do that shit. Yeah, oh man. I'm gonna do this responsible thing. I'm gonna take Bucky Irving.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you on that. As much as I want 27 first right now, I need to get Joe Mixon off my team, and I think Bucky can obviously help you win right now, and he's going to give you, production for the next several years. He's a young running back. I'm not against that at all. The time to move off of Joe Mixon is now. Rich and I have been preaching the good word of veteran running back buys, especially as a contender. This is not one that I want at all.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to go for my dog tag for the Texans. It's going to be a wide receiver, right? Might not be the one you're thinking of. Jalen Noel. Was that a surprise? Were you surprised by that? This is a buy and hold because it's not going to be this year for him. I was close to putting Christian Kirk as my buy or as my dog tag for this because I think Christian Kirk has a nice role to play this year. Jalen Noel long-term, though, fits into that Christian Kirk role to me. Slot wide receiver, really good vertical presence. He was my Tyler Lockett comp coming out of college. A guy who can get down the field, who profiles as a slot, but I think could play the Z position kind of off the line. Really twitched up route runner. The biggest thing for him is the drops. Those are concerning. I have here, he had 19 in 4 years. That's not great. Obviously the size isn't there, but this is a dude who can win vertically. This is an offense. CJ Stroud, we have seen like to stretch the field just a little bit. I think Tank Dell, as much as I love Tank Dell, I think we all do, he might be done. I think Jalen Noel could be a really nice piece of this offense. He was going for thirds. He was going in like the early third round in most rookie drafts that I've seen. And I've taken him if I could, and I'm just stashing him because I really think he has potential to be like a Tyler Lockett-esque type player, but not in that, top end Tyler Lockett that we have, because there's obviously Nico Collins there, Jaden Higgins. Right. I have Jalen Noel ranked higher than Jaden Higgins because I liked more of the listen, it's weird for me too, because I am pro big body wide receiver, right? I am a big body wide receiver type defender. But some of the things Jalen Noel could do, man, I really like Jalen Noel. But they were like,
you like those big meaty wide receivers bumping meat?
I didn't say big body wide receiver. Yeah, I love that shit. I love Big E Langston. That's what I suck as a host because I really wanted to say a whole bunch of wrestling nonsense in the beginning of this fucking episode. I fucked that up. I was gonna say you got Chev Sanders, the guy with more AKAs than your favorite professional wrestler. That went out the fucking window. I suck at this. See the thing? It sucks. I really suck at this. But yeah, I think Jalen Noel could be a really good seam stretcher for this offense when the time comes. Not this year, next year. What are you thinking, Noel?
I agree with you, brother. So if you want to look at what could be, you got to get into that Christian Kirk 2022 Jacksonville film, and really you can see a similarity. They're teammates now, and so Christian Kirk's probably going to have that role as long as he stays healthy. But that ended up being like wide receiver 14, and it was just vertical slot usage, like power slot usage, and Jalen Noel has the route running like savant ism. Just he has the sauce to separate as against man and in the slot on those choice routes, those option routes. So there's a path to where they could change the way they play offense and just pepper the slot with targets, and then use big in breakers with Nico Collins, like big posts and those stop routes and back shoulders. And the ways that Nico Collins wins, like deep downfield and just being able to outrun coverage, you could have Jalen Noel operating underneath, kind of like a Rashee Rice, and that could be, a very fruitful thing. So I love the fact that you said that, dude. I like Jalen Noel a lot. I just don't know how. I like Jaden Higgins a lot as well, which means I should also be way more bullish than I am on CJ Stroud. Fuck, this sucks.
Yeah, I think that offense might be pretty good this year, and especially going forward.
Yeah,
I almost like Christian Kirk in here. Christian Kirk here.
Yeah, they're loaded at wide receiver, right? And so, and as Dalton Schultz fucking sucks, but like that means that it means that Cade Stover's not on the field. I like Cade Stover coming out. So
He was all right. Yeah, I thought he was solid.
I mean, their passing offense should be elite this year.
It just might take a little while for Jalen Noel to be part of that, unless Christian Kirk, which we've seen him have injury concerns throughout his career. But I think Kirk is the guy right now. But next year and going forward, it's going to be Noel, Higgins, and Nico. And I love that offense. I think Stroud's also a sneaky buy because I've seen him go in like the third round of most startups, and I think that's a good place for him.
Yeah, I mean,
remember when he was quarterback 3?
Yeah. That's what I was about to say. I was like, it was too fucking high, like way startups at the beginning of 2024. Like, oh, he's got Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell's coming back. Like quarterback 3 is like, bro, that's Mahomes prices.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, bro. This is an Airbnb. That's no, we're not doing that.
That was too damn high. It was.
So yeah, it's back to where it's good. It's good. It's a good entry point if you want to get into the CJ Stroud business. I feel much better about the 3rd round than I do, pick 9 or pick 8.
Even if he goes at the back end of the 2nd, I don't hate that, especially being young.
If you miss out on like Bo Nix and Bo Nix, Drake May, Caleb Williams, Justin Herbert, I'm cool with taking CJ Stroud or just waiting a few more rounds and then going like, let me ask you this: CJ Stroud or Jordan Love?
Stroud.
Okay. CJ Stroud or Trevor Lawrence?
Stroud.
Okay.
Unless T-Law goes to what we've been hoping for 6 years, but I think we've been hoping for that too long.
Right. See? CJ Stroud or JJ McCarthy?
Oh, Stroud.
I knew. Yeah.
If you said Cam Ward, I might have to think about that one.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that to you. Because I mean, like, I would.
The offense is better prepared for CJ Stroud right now.
Correct.
For Cam Ward.
The situation is better right now for CJ Stroud, but Cam Ward is. You're about to see.
I agree, and I also think that there is a world where Cam Ward has higher points this year than CJ Stroud. The only reason I say that is because they're going to be behind Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward's going to have to throw the ball, right? Houston defense, I was going to bring this up, is very good, like very underratedly good. With Daniel Hunter.
They're the only team in the NFL to have an 8% sack rate and a 3% interception rate. Now, it sucks that they lost C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the torn ACL.
No, I thought he was good. Hold on. I don't think it was confirmed that he did that.
I could be mistaken, and I mean,
because I remember that was the fear originally. Hold on, let me see real quick. Continue on with what you were saying while I look that up.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure because that's been my favorite defensive special teams to target because I like the fact that wherever he goes, that team seems to get a.
It says, thankfully, Texans head coach D'Amico Ryans let us know the injury won't end his 2025 season.
Okay.
That's what it looks like right now. I'm trying to look and see. Good news emerges for Eagles safety after scary moment. Yeah, looks like he's going to be good to go. Not for week 1, but not like a full year type thing. But Will Anderson might be one of my favorite football players. Just an absolute motor coming off the edge. Will Anderson's one of my favorites. I don't want to say I wish the Eagles got him when they took Jalen Carter, because look at Jalen Carter. I can't really say that, but that was who I wanted originally in that draft.
Dude,
it was just never going to happen.
Yeah. Damian Martinez just had a nasty run.
Oh, don't do this thing. I'm going to turn that game on. We got to get off this podcast.
Okay. All right. My bad. Hey, listen. I just want you I want you to understand that I don't disagree about this whole Jalen Noel thing. I just think that maybe he's closer to Nico Collins than he is Michael Pittman.
you had to throw that one in there, right?
I
You
did.
you
I did.
Listen,
I did.
Chev, this has been a fun episode. I really appreciate you coming on. Tell everybody where they can find you, what you got going on. You're pretty much everywhere now, so if you just want to say everywhere, I'm pretty sure everybody would understand.
Hey, just if you go follow me on Twitter Xverse at Chev90, there's a link tree there with everything I'm working on. But the one thing I will highlight is recently launched FFD Fantasy, the redraft channel. So I'm covering redraft content. We'll have weekly waiver shows, ranking shows, maybe some prop shows and betting for in season content. So yeah, go if you haven't, go subscribe over there, leave a like, turn the notifications on, and download the League Champ app in the Google Play Store and the App Store.
Yeah, you guys are absolutely killing it. Everything that you're doing right now, super happy for you guys. Obviously, I want everything to grow in Dynasty, right? Especially for the brands. But you guys are some of my favorite people, so I want you guys to continue to grow, obviously. But I end every episode with saying that mental health is extremely important. If you are struggling with mental health, make sure you're reaching out to someone, a friend, a loved one, doesn't matter. Just make sure you're talking, getting that off your chest. It's super important. Just remember somebody out there loves you. So for the Dynasty Dogs, that'll be it for this week. We will see you guys next week. This is the end. Have a good night.
Thank you for having me, brother.
Yep.